Reaper, and my goal on this channel is to teach you how to read the words of trading whether the price is going up or down. Over on total for the daily, we did attempt to make a bounce. I would watch because this candle is not very strong. Our stochastic is starting to round with that orange above blue, so that is a bearish cross. RSI is in the bullish territory, but our VWAP is starting to come down. So watch that VWAP on lower time frames. If it continues to weaken, momentum will continue to round. Money flow will stay in the red, and we can break that support still. Over on the 1 hour, it does look like we have some slight consolidation. Now the highs and lows I really can't connect into a bullish channel, into a bull flag, but a consolidation usually after a push up does give you a bull flag that would push you forward. If you want to measure it, it could be very sloppy, but that could be a push probably somewhere around this 803 or 830 area or higher. Our stochastic does want to round. RSI is starting to pull back. That VWAP did reject that neutral, so I would watch that VWAP close as bringing momentum lower and causing money flow to weaken. If this continues, the bears will start to gain control and we would push down instead. So I would exercise caution. We didn't really get sustained higher highs with higher lows. We got somewhat of higher highs with higher lows in this range, and then we just dumped down, and now we have a lower high. So we tried to get a bullish momentum kickoff, but the bears are starting to get some more control, so I would exercise caution. Again, this does show we have some indecision going at best. Over on Bitcoin futures for the daily, we do have indecision here as well. Stochastic is turned around. VWAP is pushing up. Momentum's gaining strength. Money flow does want to push up. So again, we don't have the weekend data here, but we did not make that gap forward or gap down scenario because Bitcoin did end up pretty flat for the week. So that was a positive note. This does give us kind of a lift-off point where we could continue forward, where this creates some sort of a support area. So again, that would be a consolidation range here after a push up, which could help push us forward. But I would just watch again for some lower lows and lower highs. If we get those lower lows and lower highs, then our MPP is projecting a push down, but that VWAP is trying to stay bullish. Momentum is pushing forward. Money flow is in the green. Right now, I'd lean more to Bitcoin to see which way we're going to go. Remember that futures data is pretty new. It just has today. Over on Bitcoin for the daily, we do have an attempt to make a bounce forward. So again, we have some consolidation after a push up. We could try to make a bull flag, but it's not really a textbook bull flag. VWAP is pushing bullish. Momentum wants to push through that neutral. Momentum is trying to push that money flow into the green. So we do look pretty positive here. Over on the 1 hour, we again do have that consolidation. I would not say the highs and lows connect unless you count this low. If you counted that low, then we would have some sort of a channel right here. It would not be a perfect channel still because those lows are pretty shy, but that would be a push forward in a bull flag from here, which would give us a push to around that 91K. So that would be a pretty decent push up. But again, we tried to get those higher highs with higher lows, and then we kind of got a rejection. So I would exercise caution and watch out for a lower low. If we break below this 84K range, then that's where I'd say the bears are going to try to gain control. Our momentum does want to round. We have a red dot bringing VWAP lower, so that VWAP does want to reject down. We did try to get a higher high, but it was a very short wave, so watch for a longer bearish wave. If we get a longer bearish wave, the bears will start to gain some control, bringing momentum and money flow lower, which would weaken our higher time frames and invalidate this possibility. But remember, we could still push down to around this 82K, stay within this channel, and then make a bounce. As long as we bounce around that 82K, then things could be fine. But if we broke beyond that, that's where we would look to lower price targets. Now over on graph for the daily, it does look like we have some indecision here as well. Again, rejecting that value area low. So we want to get above that if we're going to continue our trend forward to that 11 cents. VWAP is pushing forward. Momentum wants to gain strength. Money flow is trying to push up. Our stochastic is starting around with the orange line above that blue. That does want to bring that RSI lower. So again, watch that very close. Over on the 1 hour here, we do have some lower lows and lower highs after making those higher highs with attempted higher lows. So again, we tried to get that bullish momentum and it didn't really take us too far and it kind of fizzled away. Our stochastic does want to round here. Again, getting a bearish cross. RSI would pull back if that bearish cross remains. VWAP is in the bearish territory with a lower low after trying to make a bullish trend and not going too far. So this is a little worrisome and this could bring us back down toward around our previous previous zone. I'd say right around that 7409. Our momentum does want to push down, and if that VWAP continues to push down, we would have a lower high, which if followed by consistent or lower lows would bring us lower and cause the higher time frames to weaken. Over on XRP for the daily, we do have again an indecision candle all around the market. We didn't pump up very much. We have some like algo that pumped up, but most of the market did not really move much. Our VWAP is pushing forward. Momentum is gaining strength. Money flow is in the red, but if that VWAP can stay bullish, then we can continue forward. And that stochastic does want to round, much like everything else. Over on the 1 hour, we do again have some consolidation going on. After a push forward, you could try to draw a bull flag. I'm not going to draw a bull flag as the highs and lows don't really connect how I would like them to. Our stochastic is going to round. We do have a bearish cross. Momentum is starting to push down with a red dot. VWAP is starting to break down after getting a lower high, so watch for lower lows. If we get lower lows here, that'll cause momentum to continue to drop. Money flow will weaken and higher time frames would push down if that money flow stays in the red for several hours. So last but not least, we have Anchor for the daily. We did get another indecision candle, tried to push up, but didn't go too far, much like Graph. Stochastic is starting to pull back with that bearish cross. RSI is pulling back, VWAP's pulling back, momentum is rounding, money flow is in the bearish territory. So I would exercise caution, much like the rest of the market. We tried to get those higher highs and higher lows, and then we kind of just rejected and kind of dumped down there. Our stochastic does want to round. RSI is starting to pull back. That VWAP is starting to favor bearish, rejecting that neutral. So watch for consistent or lower lows. If we continue to favor bearish here, momentum will remain bearish. Money flow will stay in the red, and higher time frames will start to break down, pushing us even lower. However, if the rest of the altcoins do push up, I would say it would be likely that Anchor could push forward. But if that is not the case, I would watch for that push to around that 115.88 or 01588. So thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a great night. Hit the like and subscribe and join us in that Discord.